Good evening. My name is Mary Beth, and I have been a volunteer community nurse for a little over 3 years, but my relationship with community nurse goes back several years ago. Community nurse and their mission are very personal to me. In 1994, my 37-year-old husband was diagnosed with a very aggressive leukemia. He died in 1995 after a failed bone marrow transplant. My dear husband left me with 3 precious gifts, my 3 boys, Christopher, Daniel, and Kevin. They were ages 8, 5, and 3. These little boys are very fine men today who believe in service to their community and their country. Christopher, age 29, is an 8-year Army airborne veteran. Chris loved jumping out of those airplanes. Chris served 2 tours in Afghanistan, and on his second tour, an injury resulted from indirect mortar fire by the enemy. Chris earned a Purple Heart for his unselfish sacrifice, but of utmost importance is that he is here with us. Daniel, age 27, could not be here tonight. He is on shift serving his community as a firefighter paramedic for the Pleasant View Fire Protection District. Let's hope he has a very quiet evening. And my baby Kevin is anxiously awaiting a call from his recruiter because he is due to report December 5th for the United States Marine Corps training in Camp Pendleton. My husband's company carried us on their health insurance, but when that health insurance expired, I had the option to pay a fee of $700 for COBRA. There was no way I could have afforded that. I went without health insurance for many months. I prayed and hoped that my very active, athletic little boys would remain healthy. Such a gamble I was taking. After my husband died, I was offered a position at the company I worked at pre-children, and all I thought of was, yes, I will have insurance. I will have that precious health insurance. My father told me in these exact words, he said, absolutely not. Those boys just lost their father. They will not lose their mother to a 10-hour day. And my dad was correct. My job was to raise these little boys, which I was blessed with. But how was I to pay for these mandatory shots, well-being checks, sports physicals, dental exams? I'm a person of pride. I was raised that way. I like to let everybody think I was doing just fine financially, but in actuality, I was doing okay, but only with the help of my father and providing some in-home daycare. I heard about community nurse through an acquaintance, and I thought to myself, oh, I couldn't possibly go there. I might know people. That place wasn't for me. How embarrassing it would be if I went there and knew somebody. I lived in such a nice neighborhood. I lived in your neighborhood. I was a person who gave, not received. But instead of going for help in my own area, I dragged my 3 little precious boys over to Maywood, Illinois, and stood in line so that I could get free immunization shots and checkups. I was certain I would not know anybody over in Maywood. When my youngest son had dental problems, I swallowed my pride and tried to hide my humiliation at needing a helping hand. And I took Kevin to the Community Nurse Dental Center. Up until then, my pride and ignorance had kept me away from obtaining quality dental and health insurance for my 3 precious boys. The first dental appointment led to several medical and dental appointments for Chris, Dan, and Kevin. Imagine my surprise when I took one of my boys for a dental checkup, and who treated him was Dr. Tim. When my husband and I had health and dental insurance, Dr. Tim was our dentist. When we liked him so much, we decided we would follow him from his LaGrange practice to his Willowbrook practice. My boys and I were treated beautifully and with much kindness and respect at these appointments. I realized how silly it was of me to be so afraid. Excuse me. I could not have been happier with the treatment we received at Community Nurse. My boys were healthy and were finally receiving the proper care that they needed. But medical and dental help were not the only things that my boys received. Here comes Christmas and Santa Claus. I expected the boys to each receive a few gifts, but lo and behold, my garage was full. There were even presents for me. Very humbling, the extreme generosity of the Community Nurse family was mind-boggling. Easter came bouncing in, and the same situation occurred. The staff had asked me to leave my garage door open so that they could leave some gifts for the boys. I expected an Easter basket. Again, the garage was full, and again, there was something for me. Community Nurse provides medical and dental care for struggling families, but we all need to know that there is no stereotypical struggling family, struggling neighbor, or struggling acquaintance. Our family portraits are all different. My portrait became one of a young widowed mother with circumstances beyond my control. I am proud to share my experiences with Community Nurse Health Center. I ask you to look around you when you are at schools, parks, church, neighborhood. Anyone could be getting the help that they need, and they could be getting that help at Community Nurse. Community Nurse helped me and my boys get through a very rough time. Please know that your gift this evening will truly help a family in your neighborhood, a family in need. I am very grateful. I have volunteered at the Community Nurse for the past 3 years. It's a very small way for me to give back to the community and the organization that helped me so much when I was in such desperate need. Chris, Dan, Kevin, and I are the reality of the mission of the Community Nurse. Please consider in participating this evening with a gift to help make Community Nurse's vision a reality. It truly does take a community to raise a child. Thank you very much.